I love DPs.
Like double penetration.
Some double penetration.
Double penetration on your own with some solo play.
Hello, and welcome to the Double Penetration Podcast. Here are your hosts, Creep and Steel.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, how you doing? I am your favorite creep. That is your friend, Mr. Chris Steele, and we are bringing you Double Penetration Podcast, Volume 30.
Finally made it.
What up?
It's time to buy a motorcycle, get divorced.
Are we having a midlife crisis already?
I mean, when's a midlife crisis actually started? Because me being 36, I don't feel that I've hit a midlife crisis. I still feel like I'm 26.
I feel like the midlife crisis happens around 45, 46, 47, 48.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like 40's the new 30. That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way to make people that are 36 in the twilight years of their life feeling a little bit better.
Oh, now I want to watch Twilight.
Ew, I've never seen it. I second that dumb garbage.
I fucking shut it out. I refused to watch Twilight, ever refused. And then it played last year on TV, and I didn't know what it was until it was too late. And then I got addicted, and I binge watched all movies, and no regrets.
You were all like, oh, I'm team fucking werewolf boy. And then the other guy, effeminate vampire guy. What's his name? Jacob?
Edward.
Edward.
I'm totally team Edward.
What's the other kid's name? Jacob?
Yeah.
God, I don't know how I know that.
Oh, man. I refused to watch it, too. And now I'm like, oh, my God, it's so good.
I'll never watch. Never, ever, ever. I still have never seen the original Top Gun, the 1980s film.
Me neither.
Well, you're from a younger generation, so it's not expected.
I fucking hate when people say that.
But you are. You're a younger generation than I.
That doesn't just mean that I don't know things.
But if you've never seen it.
Or watch things, or listen to things.
But see, I grew
That's
up...
like my number one pet peeve ever.
But no, I grew up in the 80s, being an 80s kid. And it's expected for me to have liked and seen Top Gun as a youngster, but I don't really care for airplanes very much, so I don't give a fuck about no fucking Top Gun and Tom Cruise and Maverick and Iceman. I know all the references because it's the 80s, you know? I know a lot of 80s references.
Yeah.
Shit.
I feel you.
Mm-hmm. I feel old today, though.
You are old.
Fuck
today.
You. Why are you calling
You're
me
older
old?
Today than you were yesterday.
Yeah, I'm older today than I was yesterday. That is true, but I don't want it to be pointed out. I'm very self-conscious about that. I don't know why.
So you don't feel like you're 26.
Well, I mean, I do, but today I feel old.
It's been like 30 seconds.
You know what? You're calling me out on my bullshit. Fair enough.
Funny.
No, I just as I'm getting, like, mentally, I feel 26, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm learned. I feel like I have a very good grasp on what I want my life to be. I feel like when you're 26, you really think that, but you really don't.
But you really don't.
Yeah, at least I didn't. I mean, my 20s were, you know, I've said it before, I spent a lot of it at the bar, so, I mean, really didn't have a whole lot of life experiences other than drinking and goofing around with my pals as we get drunk and think of all fun, crazy, dumb things to do to each other. Because there's nothing like some good old-fashioned pranks while you're drinking with your pals.
I love pranks.
Yeah, we talked about pranks momentarily in last volume. So we figured let's talk pranks this volume.
I don't think I ever did pranks when I was drinking.
No.
No, I've only done sober pranks. When I'm drinking, I'm drinking. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let me ask you: Do you play drinking games like beer pong and all that other shit? Is that something that like you do? Like
not sober creep. I mean, sober creep, obviously no. But
No.
I used to play drinking games.
I never really got drinking games.
It's fun. It's a good way to like, I don't know, like there were a lot of times I just sat around and got shit-faced with my friends. And then there were other times when like we wanted to do more than sit there and get shit-faced. You know what I mean? Like, and it was mainly when like I would hang out with like maybe new people, or like if it was kind of like awkward, you want to break the ice or something. I don't know.
Yeah, when
you're having like a party and you can't just sit around and get shit-faced. I don't know.
Like the only drinking game, and it's not really a drinking game that I'm really actually care for, is like rope-a-pole and cornhole. I don't care for fucking stupid tricky dice or
flip
cup. I don't give a fuck.
I got cornhole finally last year because I had a yard, and now I don't have a yard anymore, so I don't know if I can like.
Well, I mean, if your apartment is long enough, you could throw it. It's just beanbags.
I know.
And you got vaulted ceilings in that motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's not the same. You want to play that outside.
That is true, because there's nothing like the smell of grass and air. And then always blaming the sun being in your eyes when you lose. Well, the sun was in my eyes. You had your back to the
like
sun.
You got the good hill. Like my backyard used to have like this giant hill. Be like, oh, you can see better from up there. Like it's just fun to do it outside.
Yeah. I didn't really like do like a lot of pranks. I mean, just dumb, stupid pranks that I did with my friends drinking. But like a lot of the pranks that I did when I was younger throughout my formidable teenage years was like throwing shit at cars, hiding in the cornfield. That was always a good time.
Oh, man.
Well, one time, me and my pals and my brother, we thought it would be a good idea to walk around the cornfield late at night on a fall evening on a Saturday.
Nice.
And we would take corn cobs and, well, here comes a car. Let's stand in, a good 20 feet away and just throw the corn cob up in the air and see if it hits. Well, one time it hit, and we heard a car just slam on the brakes, and we're like, oh, fuck. So we're running through the cornfield, and we get down real low, and we could hear the guys looking for us. Where the fuck did they go? They fucking hit our windshield. I was scared shitless. That wasn't fun. That's when I realized throwing shit at cars is not as fun as, it sounds.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I did that. Maybe I didn't.
It's very scary, throwing stuff at cars. Like,
I would never do that now as an adult.
Hell no.
Now I like have a car that I value and like understand that like that's fucked up. But like, oh man, back in the day, yep.
I also too is like I didn't really understand consequences. Like the only consequences that I had were my parents grounding me. But if like legit we had thrown an ear of corn, if we had thrown an ear of corn and had killed someone, who threw the ears of corn, we'd all be like, oh shit, shut the fuck up. But like that, I think that's a lot of the problem too, is just kids these days don't realize consequences.
There's really, and they don't really have consequence. Like they don't, like we used to get grounded. I feel like kids these days don't even get grounded. They don't get their ass whooped. They don't get the belt. They don't get they get nothing.
They lose their Wi-Fi access.
They get fucking cheese pizza instead of pepperoni. Like, fuck off.
I do love a good plain cheese. I will admit that. You don't like a plain cheese pizza? Come on.
No, I hate it. I will fuck up some cheese. I can eat 12 blocks of cheese in one sitting, but don't ever just give me plain cheese pizza. I can't even pretend like I like it. Like, I have some vegetarian friends and they'll order like a cheese pizza. I'll go home.
It's just basically like cheese bread with the sauce already.
I don't
on
like it.
It's delicious.
Nope, hate it. I hate it.
So you didn't do no
pranks?
pranks?
Did I tell you?
Huh?
Did I tell you about the little girl that tried to throw something at my car like a couple weeks ago? I didn't?
No. I'd love to hear a story about a little girl.
So this shit was beautiful. So like in my old neighborhood, there was like a bunch of kids. Like it was a super basic white bitch neighborhood.
Was it like the bottle kids from Trailer Park Boys? Was it like the bottle kids from Trailer Park Boys?
Oh my God, no. Oh. So usually like all the kids were super nice, super sweet, super tiny. And then there was this one girl in the neighborhood who was just, now I'm not about calling children names, but she was a fucking cunt. And she would like you could hear her because like I would sit out on my front porch sometimes and like you could hear all the kids. And she would be like so mean to them sometimes, just like so mean. So when I would get in my car to like leave, obviously they would like get out of the middle of the road. So I get in my car. All the kids go like down the big hill, except for the one little bitch. And I couldn't see. My eyesight's shit. So I didn't really notice until I got right up on her that she had an armful of like mulch or leaves or like something. And I drove up and I'm like so close to her. Like she just stood on the side of the road with this fucking armful of shit. And I was like, that's weird. What the fuck is she doing? And I get right on her and she threw that shit in my car. But the wind caught every single one of those little things and blew it right back in her fucking face. Oh my God. It was so funny. Like, I just was like, I shouldn't be laughing at this. It was fucking hilarious.
No, that is funny. I love instant karma.
So
shit
funny. And like her face was just like, like all this shit was just all over her. Oh, I was so happy.
Instant karma like that is great. There was this video that was going around last week of a guy who had basically was, I guess, an alligator was in somebody's yard, and it was down south in Florida, so it's no surprise. So he had the alligator's arms tied back, he had his mouth tied shut, he had tape on over the alligator's eyes, and he was like smacking the gator in his face and shit. So they were putting him in the back of the guy's truck to transport, and the fucking gator whipped him in the face and hit him with the tail and knocked him out. It's like, good for you, gator. Knock that motherfucker out. That's what you get for smacking around an alligator who can't defend himself. Stupid dickhead.
I love going gator hunting, though.
All he wants to do is just be in some water. Goddamn. Sorry, you got a fucking pool. They were here before us, and they'll be here long after us. Relax.
That's true. Yep.
See, I'm not really like an animal activist, but I don't really care for animal abuse. I mean, animal
abuse is fucked. I mean, like, and I'm all for hunting if that's like your
if
food
it's all
source
controlled and regulated, but trophy hunting is shitty.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. Like, if you don't need to eat it, and if you're not eating it, and if you're like, those are literally the only two fucking things, like, fuck off. Like, I don't like that.
See, up here in Michigan, we got like deer hunting is like a big deal because the deer population can get out of control. And like, surprisingly enough, because I grew up in the country, like I never hit a deer. But I knew friends that hit deer all the time, and it's like, that's your fourth deer that you've hit. And I'm like, man, good thing I never got it. So like, I don't necessarily would hunt myself. I don't think I could kill an animal, but I don't see the problem with hunting as far as like controlling like the deer population, and obviously down south with the alligator population, because
yeah, like every year if you are like licensed to gator hunt, you get so many tags and you're allowed to fill those tags because it's fucking, I don't know, I guess population control. And then
well, I watch Swamp People, so I kind of know the gist as far as gator hunting goes.
We used to go gator hunting when I was little.
So you would like pop them in the head with guns, or you would just pick them up and play with them?
No, we didn't do the head thing.
Oh, so then what gator hunting would you do?
Wow.
You would kill them?
Gator hunting. Huh?
You would kill them?
So like, I was really little, and I just remember one of them. I was little and I was like sitting with my mom in the truck, and then there was like this other guy, and I just remember the gator like getting loose and like going for him, and he was like, it was really funny. But that could be a lie. That's just like my memory of it. I could have dreamed it. I don't fucking know. But we definitely used to go out for gators.
I still remember like certain things from like when I was a little kid. Like I remember it had to have been like, God, I don't know. Like when you're like, I think I was in kindergarten and I was going through like doctor tests and shit for like getting my tonsils out. And I still remember I went to this one doctor's appointment and they wanted me to piss in a cup. And I said, well, why do I got to pee in a cup? Why can't I just use the toilet? And I still remember that. So I was in kindergarten. It's just like one of those weird things that you remember.
I remember my first nightmare ever.
Yeah.
It was just about a bee chasing me. And I woke up and I was like 2 and I was freaking the fuck out.
So we've learned you're afraid of mice, frogs, and bees.
I'm not afraid of bees. It was just my first nightmare when I was super little. I love bees.
I like honey, but I don't like bees. I don't like getting stung.
I love bees.
Oh, I hate getting stung.
I love bees. A lady in my family used to have a A bee farm.
Let's just say that I know some people that have a bee farm that make their own honey and make their own jam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they sell it.
Like-
And they have a business. It's delicious.
That's cool.
But I don't necessarily know if they would really want to be associated with Double Penetration Podcast, so no offense.
I'm like,
to
why
all.
is this sketchy?
Well, it's not necessarily sketchy. It's more of like a family thing, so.
No, I know. It was just
Yeah.
funny at the time 10 seconds ago.
Oh, excuse me for ruining your joke and being so fucking literal. Oh, literal Chris. Ruining the creep's jokes.
Oh, man. We
No.
used to prank each other in my house growing up, and we would have like a point system. So like if you scared somebody or if you pranked somebody, you would get a point 1 through 10 on how good you got them, scared them or pranked them, whatever.
Right.
Oh man, I love that shit. I always lost. My grandpa always won.
Pop out and scare you.
Oh man, all the time, everywhere. I could be anywhere, and he'd be like, and he used to have this tattoo on his arm, and we were little as fuck, and we didn't know. And he'd be like, "Oh, touch it. It won't do anything to you. Just touch it. It's just a tattoo." And we were so little. And then we would like go to touch it, and he would scare the fuck out of us every time. And every time we'd be like, "Oh my god, like it's real."
That's funny.
It was stupid.
I was going to say something, but I forgot.
Sorry.
That's okay. My short-term memory sucks lately.
Have you ever had a point system with your friends or your family or?
No, my wife's
wife?
now I remember. She like pops out and scares me from time to time. She'll do that shit to me. And like every time I think, okay, the next time she does that to me, I'm gonna grab my chest and fall on the ground and scare her. But she always scares me to the point where I'm like, "Fuck you! What the fuck?" I yell at her. I'm like, "What's your fucking problem?" She's like, So I got her one day real good.
Oh, that's so funny. How was it?
She was in the shower and I creeped in and yanked it open real quick. Ah! She screamed. I'm like, that's what you get.
Man. When I used to live with those two random guys, we would try to prank each other all the time. And I remember I first moved in and maybe somebody did a prank. And we had this like huge like family meeting in the living room about like pranking each other in a prank war and how it was going to go and how it was going to get progressively worse and how we had no limits and no safe words and nothing. And it just was what it was and we had to deal with it. And I don't know. They tried to prank me so many times, but like I would hear them every fucking time. Like they tried to saran wrap my doorway, but like they were loud as fuck. It was like, meh, meh, meh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the fucking end of the roll.
Saran wrap's not exactly quiet either.
Oh man, huh?
I said saran wrap's not exactly quiet either when you're trying to.
No, and then you could hear it like rustling a little bit, and I just like opened my door, and I was like, really, like that's the best you fucking got, like.
Oh, on top of that too is like every time I try to wrap something with saran wrap, the fucking stupid teeth that's supposed to rip it it never rips properly. It never rips clean. Never. Fuck you, Reynolds Wrap. You never rip clean. And this is across the board as far as all like cling wrap shit. I can never get a clean rip. Never. It always rips all janky and fucked up.
Really?
Fuck yeah, I'm never good at it. I'm good at ripping foil and parchment paper, but not fucking cling wrap.
I'm gonna start putting that on my resume if it's not common.
Oh fuck! I would hire you based on your cling wrap ripping and skills
I'm
alone.
carrying saran wrap.
Like I wonder. I mean, you could get a meat packing job based on that. You'd be like, I'm really good at saran wrap ripping. I'm the best.
I'm the best.
I'm the best.
They go on America's Got Talent.
Fuck that stupid show. I don't like that show.
I love that show.
I don't like these talent shows. Makes me
I
realize
love
that
it.
I suck at almost everything I do.
Yeah, but you can't be salty about it. I have no talents and I still like it.
Nah, it's not that I'm salty. I'm just
Bitter.
talentless, I guess.
And bitter about it.
I'm an old man. I'm getting bitter.
Yeah.
Throughout my 20s, I thought I was invincible. Now I'm in my 30s. My early 30s, I was very angry. I was an angry individual. And then now I'm mellow and don't give a fuck about nothing. But I'm bitter.
I was about to say, you're a walking contradiction tonight.
Well, I've had a few.
I feel young. I feel like I'm 26, but I'm old as fuck, and I'm totally bitter. I used to be angry, but now I don't care about anything.
Well, I mean, like, as far, like, I don't know. I don't care about much of it. I'm pretty, like,
that's funny.
like, I just let shit roll off my back as far as, like, if it's work-related, it bugs me, but, like, anything personal, I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Did you, do you want to talk about your big accomplishment?
My big accomplishment. No, fuck them.
Okay. I thought at least I could acknowledge you.
Well, no, you're acknowledging, and my wife and a couple of family members acknowledged, but, you know, it is what it is. I was at my job for 10 years, and I figured they would acknowledge it, and they never said a thing, so.
I would have walked up to them and been like, excuse me, bitch, hello, I have been here 10 motherfucking years. You didn't say shit, so I'm fucking going home. Fuck out of here.
Well, I've kind of have it in my head that if I see another person get acknowledged for their 10 years, because there's some people coming up within the next, like, 4 months that have been there just as long, well, within 10 years, but I've been there longer.
Really?
If they get acknowledged, then I'm going to make a big stink about it.
Oh, you better do it, boy. You better record that shit. We can put the audio on the podcast. It'll be beautiful.
Fuck you got there? Some fucking sweet tea?
It's unsweet tea.
I hate sweet tea and unsweetened tea.
I used to only ever drink sweet tea, and now, I don't know if it's because I drink so much coffee in the morning and throughout the day, but I can't do a lot of sweet stuff anymore. Like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I get, like, really shaky.
It's because your fucking sugar's probably all jacked up from drinking so much coffee.
Yeah, it's probably high as fuck.
Like, I don't put sugar in my coffee. Just a little bit of cream. That's how I like it.
You like a little bit of cream?
Macchiato.
I'm better about things now, but I don't know. Ow. Somebody pranked me by putting, what was it? Oh my God. Oh, it was the salt and the sugar thing.
Ah.
That sucked.
So they put salt in the sugar thing, huh? And you're making
Yep.
coffee and you're like, ah.
It was fucking horrible.
There's this guy that I used to work with, and I'll just say his name's Gordon because, you know, his name is Gordon. But this is from, like, goddamn, probably 17 years ago or longer. And he had this big, huge travel coffee mug, and he would always be like, he would always just drink coffee all day long. And this is, like, I started drinking coffee, but I couldn't drink it all day long like that. I'm like, how the fuck can you drink coffee all day long? Well, the one day he stopped bringing, he kept bringing his travel mug, but it didn't have a lid. I was like, you're going to spill that fucking travel mug. He's like, I ain't going to spill it. And I was like, well, I'm going to start putting shit in it, and then you're going to drink some shit. So I put salt in his coffee, and he got all pissed off about it. And then I put Sprite in his coffee.
That's so, what, did he get pissed?
Oh, yeah, I put garlic powder in it.
And he never brought the lid?
No, the next day he did.
That's
like,
funny.
like, you better...
We used to do that. Like, I've always worked in restaurants and shit, so we would fucking fuck with each other all the time like that. Be like, oh, can you grab me a drink? Be like, yeah, I can.
Yeah, one time me and my buddy Jabo, we went to this bar, and he likes his burgers well done with a lot of ketchup on it, and he went to go put pepper on it, and some person who had the table prior to us loosened the pepper lid up, so when he went to go put pepper on his burger, the whole entire thing fell on it. I was like, aha, that's what you
to
get.
The best of us.
For getting a well done burger and putting ketchup on it. Ugh. I hate ketchup.
That's funny. That's hilarious. We used to, like, poke holes in the cups, but we'd, like, draw on the cup before we gave it to somebody, like styrofoam cups for the guys in the kitchen. So we'd, like, draw on the cup, but we would poke these little tiny toothpick holes in it so that when they picked it up to drink it, oh, man, it would spill all over them and everything they were doing. They would get so pissed.
That's mean.
It was so funny.
This girl I used to know, she used to babysit for this couple. Well, for almost every... This is what she told me. For every person that she would babysit, she would rifle through the parents' drawers
Oh God.
and find condoms and poke pinholes all the way through.
Oh my God.
So that
that's
she would still have a job
fucked up.
babysitting.
Oh my God.
That's what she told me. I was like, that's fucking low. But then I figured, well, the condom would eventually dry out, so the guy would probably open it up and be like, oh, this is fucking dry. Get a new one.
Yeah, I never really. I think we've talked about that before, but I never really like thought about that aspect of it, like drying out.
Yeah, we did talk about somebody poking holes in condoms, but I can't remember what it was. Usually I have a pretty good memory about our show.
Yeah, me too. I have no idea.
Maybe it was... I don't want to say it. Maybe it was... Nah, it couldn't have been Crazy X's. Well, maybe it was. Who knows?
Oh yeah,
That probably was it. Crazy X's.
probably.
Go back and listen to that, folks. Our old shit's top notch.
So much shit. I remember like filling my friend's car with shit one day and like streamer in the outside. Did you ever do that? Like just fuck with people's car? Like not in a damaging way, but just like in a way that's super annoying.
Yeah, I have, and I have a good story too. One day, when I get up for work, you know, when I lived at my parents' house, I got up for work and left for work before 5 a.m. Well, it was a Monday morning. I get up to go to work, and somebody had put fucking Vaseline all over my driver's side windshield, and I couldn't see out of it, so I had to get out of my car and clean it all up. And I hate when people fuck my morning routine up. It sucks. And it turns out it was my cousin Russ, who lived a few doors down. Well, I held that memory for about 3 years. Well, no, maybe it wasn't 3 years. It was about 1.5 to 2 years, to where I could finally pay him back. His sister was getting married, and me and my wife were boyfriend, girlfriend living together. So we went to the wedding, and I said, all right, I'm going to go fuck Russ's truck up. I got a fucking container of Vaseline. I had an old down pillow that was just shit, and I was going to get rid of it anyways. So we left the wedding early, went to my cousin Russ's house, got out, took the Vaseline all over the windshield of his truck, cut the fucking pillow open, and fucking feathered his windshield. And I sent them a text message that said, "Suck my dick, motherfucker." And then he sent the message back like, "What are you talking about?" And I just did the whole old school winky face, you know, the semicolon, and then the, you know, that thing, the zero,
I still do that.
parenthesis. So
Parentheses.
yeah,
That's
and then he called me, and he was trying to talk shit like, "Well, you gotta fuck with my stuff." I'm like, "Russ, you fucking did it to me first." He's like, "Yeah, but I didn't put feathers all over it." I go, "Hey man, an eye for an eye. If you fuck me, I'm gonna fuck you harder, bro." And he's like, "You want to go?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You want to go?" Like, you're my cousin and you're threatening to fight me. You want to go? So
That's fucking ridiculous.
yeah. Now he's in love with the bottle, and he probably won't make it to the end of the year.
Fucked. Fucked. That's fucked.
Yeah.
Fucked.
Alcoholism runs in my family, so I'm glad I got that out of me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've had probably 4 or 5 members die at an early age because they drank too much.
Damn. What's early?
Before 50.
That's sad.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Well, most of the people that died because they were drinking so much, they were all like older family members that were in like Vietnam and World War II, so they were drinking to fucking bury that. So I don't blame them. You know, it's a hard fucking life to have to deal with some of the shit that generation dealt with. Not saying that our military these days aren't dealing with shit, but back then that was some hardcore shit, especially Nam. I saw Saving Private Ryan. Something jumped up and bit me. I love that movie.
Stupid. Good for you.
What? Come on. Don't ever fucking diss Forrest Gump, because I'll fucking end this show.
Okay.
Did you ever get your mouse problem taken care of?
I don't want to talk about it. Fuck off.
All right, fine. Just trying to, you know.
I used to have this friend who was like obsessed with his car. Like obsessed with his car. Like, if one thing got on it, he was outside rubbing that bitch off. Like, he was fucking obsessed with this shit.
The only time I get obsessed with my car or my truck is when I first wash it. The very next day, I don't care. But that first few hours after washing your vehicle, I get it. I get it.
He was so obsessed. And it was this little shitty fucking... Oh, it was an Escort. Is it a Honda Escort?
No, that's a Ford Escort.
A Ford Escort, whatever.
Yeah.
He was obsessed with that shit. It was back in the day. It was like his first car. It was like the love of his life.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
Pretty sure he's thinking to sleep every night. Fucking shit, dude. Had the worst fucking rims on this bitch, but that was the thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he was over at my house one day, and I snuck out and I put a smoke bomb, like, under his car.
Oh, no.
And he was just chilling, and I was like, dude, oh my God, your car is smoking. What the fuck, dude? Oh my God, your car's smoking. And he fucking, like, he fucking oh my God, like, he cried. Like, there were tears coming out of his eyes, and he was, like, freaking out.
So he stood there and watched his car, like, smoking.
He like ran over to it and was like, I don't know where it's coming from. Like obviously it's not coming from like where it would be coming from, you know what I mean? So like,
so you just like kind of like threw it like underneath the car somewhere, or did you like
he
kind of
was just like trying to figure it out. He was just like running around like a chicken with his head cut off, really, and like crying and freaking out, and then he'd stop and be like, oh my God, I gotta find it. What do I do? Like fucking freaking out.
You don't fuck with the man's car.
Oh my God. And I just remember, oh my God, I was dying. I was fucking dying laughing. And then obviously when the smoke starts building, you know, you can tell when it's a smoke bomb. You know what I mean?
Especially when it turns pink.
No, it was a white one.
Oh, okay.
He was pissed.
Dude, my car's got pink smoke.
It was bad funny. Dude, I feel like he even would have fallen for that.
Man.
I swear.
You could have been like, dude, maybe your wires are melting. Your red wires, and that's why it's turning pink.
Your red wire.
Yeah, all your fucking positive wires. My brother had a Ford Tempo, and that was his first car. And, I can't remember what car it was that he had his senior year. I don't remember. Well, whatever car, I think it was a white Ford Probe, but one of his buddies thought it would be a good idea to shove cat shit underneath his door handles.
Oh my God, that is fucked up.
I remember my brother coming in the house all pissed off with fucking shitty hands. He is getting ready to go to work, and he comes in all fucking red faced, like he's getting ready to cry.
Fuck.
He's like, fucking somebody put cat shit underneath my door handles.
Fuck.
I would never fuck with somebody's car, you know, because especially if you got a nice car, that's the worst. Ladies, if your man has a nice car and you guys break up and you key his car, that's some fuck shit.
I've never done that.
That's bullshit. Just because your feelings got hurt, come on.
I've always liked actually, that's a fucking lie. That is a lie. But the only guy that I genuinely thought about kicking the fuck out of his car, I really liked his car, so.
What kind of car was it? Can you say or no?
It was a Volkswagen, and I've always been really into Volkswagens, and we used to do all kinds of Volkswagen shit, so it just amplified my obsession for whatever fucking reason.
We used to do Volkswagen shit.
We did. We had like a car meet every week, and we would go to V-Dub shows. Like we went to H2O in fucking Maryland, and H2O was off the fucking chain, and then we wanted to go to Solos and Georgia. Like we did all this Volkswagen shit. We had all these Volkswagen Audi friends and shit.
That's cool.
And I just really liked his car. Like, the bitch sounded fucking amazing.
It was like, one of those ones.
So good. And it was a piece of shit car. Like, way too much money went into that fucking car, but it was pretty great. It's like I didn't key it because I wanted it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's like those people that have really badass sound systems that cost more than their fucking car. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
it's like turn your sound system up just a little bit louder so it can rattle that rust bucket to the ground.
Like it never sounds like as good as they think it sounds. Like I have a friend, he's like, "Oh yeah, crank that shit, listen to this shit," and I'm like, it doesn't sound great. Like I don't know how to tell you that it sounds like shit, but it sounds like shit.
Yeah, I used to be one of those dickheads that had a big badass sound system.
I always wanted it. Don't get me wrong.
It's dumb. I mean, I get like a lot of things that I used to like when I was a kid. I fucking can't stand now. Like, I mean, I still love bumping my music loud, but I'll never spend the kind of money buying amps and speakers and speaker boxes and running fucking zero gauge wire through my goddamn car. Fuck that. Plus, I lease now, so
I couldn't lease a car.
I fucking love leasing. For as long as I live and as long as I can get the really, really, really good lease deals that I get, I'll never not lease.
I get that. I cannot, but I get that if I could.
Yeah, because you drive around and travel too much. You'll be over
yeah,
miles.
I just put too many miles on my car, and I smoke in my car, and I don't.
Well, we can smoke in our car if we wanted to. I mean,
but doesn't it decrease?
No, I'll just go get it detailed and get it cleaned before we turn it in.
But you can still smell it though.
No, you can't. Not if you go to a good spot. If you go to a place that details it the right way, you'll never smell it.
Okay.
No, I'm telling you, it's true. I know good spots.
Okay.
Tell these guys, clean that up nice. Get my car back. Nice.
Okay.
They don't prank me. They know I'm a good paying customer.
What about senior pranks? Did you ever do senior pranks?
No, I didn't fuck around with I wanted to avoid any sort of mischief and getting in trouble in school. I flew under the radar as much as I could. Like my senior year, the last half of the year is kind of when I came out of my fucking shell. I mean, I was always the fucking ICP kid, but I really wasn't a social butterfly, if that's kind of the proper term. I had my group of friends and that was it. And then towards the end of the year, I was like, hey, you're cool. Plus, there was
nobody did any.
I mean, my friends did. I can't remember what they did, but god damn, I think they were TPing the courtyard or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
That's dumb. TPing the fucking courtyard, you stupid motherfuckers. Way to go at causing pains in the ass cleanup, especially if it rains. But TPing's so stupid anyways. Just dumb. It's just a big mess.
We used to do, well, I didn't do anything because.
Oh, but real quick, the friends that did that, they weren't allowed to walk their graduation, and their parents were pissed. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yep. So let that be a lesson to any of our younger friends.
Well, not really, because they do a
caught.
new thing now.
What's that?
Well, okay, so when I graduated, we weren't allowed to do shit, and we knew we weren't allowed to do shit because everybody before us, really fucked up. They put the cows from fucking 4-H or whatever in the hallways of, the enclosed things, wings and stuff. So they put cows in there, and the cows shit everywhere all throughout the night. Oh my god, it smelled like cow shit in that bitch for fucking weeks. It was so fucking horrible. And then somebody put a cow on the roof of the school, so that sucked. And then
how do you get a cow on the roof?
Couldn't fucking tell you.
You have a crane or a cherry picker or something, and it's just a really cool cow that's yeah, I'd like to go for a ride up there. I'm just a dumbass cow.
And they just did so much shit, so much. They just did so much really bad shit that we weren't allowed to do anything, and it's been like that. But now I know kids that go to that school or have gone to whatever, and they're allowed to do senior pranks now because it's somebody brought it back and was oh, it's tradition. The kids are gonna let them do it, let them have fun.
So what kind of senior pranks are allowed now?
I don't know. It's a few schools that I heard that from, but I don't know what exactly they can do. As far as I know, there were just a bunch of schools that were you can do whatever you want. You're not going to do anything that bad. It'll be fine. It's tradition.
Well, I remember.
Do you remember the show?
The show?
There was a show on MTV about senior pranks.
No.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. You tell your story.
Okay, so I had some friends that in high school they were there. They thought it would be a good idea to not necessarily have like a prank war, but they thought it would be a good idea to have a prank war with our rival school. So what they did is they stole their mascot, which was a bulldog, and our mascot was a tiger, and so our tiger was a kid that dressed up like a tiger. So what they did is on game day, they kidnapped him, and so they had to come together and make an agreement, and so then we had to hand back their bulldog. They had to hand back our tiger. It was really a big all mix-up.
Wasn't that a movie?
No, it's Saved by the Bell.
Oh, God.
I was going to say...
It was called High School Stories.
I've never heard of this.
Hang on.
I liked MTV True Life. That was a cool show.
Oh my God, I still watch True Life. Do you know you can get all the True Lives on Hulu?
Really?
Yeah, do you have Hulu?
No, I have Netflix. I'm not slumming it in Hulu yet.
Them.
See, there's no point for me to have Hulu while I still have fucking cable.
Yeah, there is.
No, there's not. What's on Hulu that I can't watch on TV?
A lot of shit.
I have enough shit to watch between Netflix and fucking TV and YouTube.
I don't. I have Netflix, Hulu, Netflix, Hulu, cable, Amazon Fire, stick thing. I have my Chromecast. I have fucking.
Yeah. I have so much. I spend so much money on visual entertainment, and I only watch like 5 things.
I only still have cable because it's almost cheaper for me to still have cable than it is for me to just have internet. But I don't watch TV. I prefer because Hulu has like everybody has their exclusive things. Like Netflix has 13 Reasons Why. Hulu has The Handmaid's Tale. Fucking like so many different shit. And I'm a huge like YouTuber freak, so I can Chromecast my YouTube that I can't watch on either one of those. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And they just have different movies and shit. Like Netflix, I am a B horror movie freak, so obviously Netflix for that. And then Hulu just has, I don't know. It's all different.
Yeah.
And it's not that much. I pay $15 a month for everything. Like.
Yeah, but I have so much shit that I pay to listen to or watch, or I don't need anything else.
High School Stories, Scandals, Pranks, and Controversies.
Oh. Never even heard
of
it.
It aired on the MTV network that featured stories of prank scandals, blah, 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 blah.
So is it more of just kind of like a recreation, or is it like a hidden camera deal?
It was like, it's like anything on MTV, like a recreation type thing.
Gotcha.
From what I remember. Where like the kids would explain the stories and what they did, and then they would like do this whole elaborate thing.
There used to be a show on MTV called Buzzkill, which was kind of like a hidden camera show, but like MTV style. That show is the shit. Buzzkill.
Buzzkill.
Yeah, MTV Buzzkill. It's like Buzzkill.
Huh.
That was a good show. And then obviously Jackass, all that shit.
Show.
I showed my wife Jackass number 2 today. I said I showed my wife Jackass number 2 today. She hadn't seen it.
Really?
Yeah. She's like, I like it when they prank each other. She's like, I just don't like when they get hurt. I'm like, why? It's hilarious. She goes, I just don't like seeing people get hurt. I go, it's a movie. It's not real. She goes, no, but it is. I go, I know, but it's a movie and it's not real. She goes, but it's real. I go, I'm trying to help you fucking trick yourself into laughing at everything. She don't like seeing people get hurt. But this is a girl that can watch hockey fights but doesn't like watching UFC or boxing. But she loves hockey fights.
I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
I know. She's like, I love hockey fights. I'm like, but why don't you like UFC? I don't know. I don't like seeing people get hurt. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hockey fights are brutal. Like, I used to only go to hockey games to watch them fight. When they didn't, I'd get pissed.
Well, they don't really fight anymore. They've really
no, like back. This was like 10 years ago.
Well, even they back when I grew up, they were fighting all the time. Now even.
I know they don't really do it that much. That's why I would be so pissed when they didn't, because I'd be like, I grew up thinking they got in fights all the time, every game, all like super bad shit, almost dying and shit. I maybe saw like 3 hockey fights.
I used to love hockey. It's kind of funny on how like because growing up in Detroit and Michigan and stuff like that, like the Red Wings throughout basically almost my entire life. Well, my entire life when I really gave a fuck about hockey, they've been good, making the playoffs, winning Stanley Cups. And now that the Red Wings suck, I don't give a fuck. Like, I was rooting for the Vegas Golden Knights to win the Stanley Cup just because it was like, you know what? Fuck it. But
I used to go to Bruins games all the time.
yeah, fuck the Bruins.
I love the
I
Bruins.
hate Zdeno Chara. That 6'7" dork. I hate that fucking guy. Bruins fans out there, I understand where I'm coming from. When you have a guy on another team that you hate him. Like, I used to fucking hate Chris Chelios when he played for the Montreal Canadiens and the Chicago Blackhawks. I fucking hated Chelios. The second he became a Detroit Red Wing, fucking loved the guy. So as
loved the guy.
So as sports fans, if there are any of them that are listening, and if there's any Boston fans, understand where I'm coming from. I mean, no disrespect, but fuck Zdeno Chara, or Chara, whatever the fuck his name is. I can't stand that fucking guy. And the Bruins.
I used to be so into sports. Now I don't know anything.
I
loved hockey. I was so into I was into Boston teams before I ever moved to Boston, like my whole life.
Yeah.
I loved the Red Sox. I loved the Bruins. I never really liked the Pats, but I never really cared for football a whole lot. I just didn't get it. But baseball and hockey and fucking yep.
I love the 2004 Boston Red Sox. That's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the Red Sox team that won the World Series finally after I don't know how many years, 100 years. Whatevs. This ain't a sports podcast. We're supposed to be talking about pussy. But we're talking about pranks.
Have you ever pranked a pussy?
I mean, I used to go down on a girlfriend and I would fall asleep. So I guess that's kind of a prank.
I guess that's a
Just sitting there munching her back. Fall asleep. Feeling on the side of my head. Did you fall asleep? No, I was just teasing you.
Fuck off. That's funny.
Yep.
I fucking dated a guy and that was a prank one time.
Why? Because you told him that you were dating him, but you really weren't?
No, like he was joking.
Oh, he was doing that
Remember,
to you?
I was ugly in high school, so yeah,
Oh, you're like that. You're
fun.
like Rachel Lee Cook from fucking She's All That.
Up. From what?
You're like Rachel Lee Cook from She's All That.
It was horrible. Yeah, except I don't just get a makeover and like look stunning. like I was still ugly.
Nah, you broads know how
yeah,
to
it was
do
fucked
makeup
up because
pretty
like his
well.
friend liked me, but like he was cuter. And
So
I don't
it
know.
really is
He
like that,
fucking
man.
asked me out one night, and I was like, "Oh, you got to be joking! Like, I don't believe you." And he was like, "No." Like, he convinced me that he was serious, and then was like, "I was just kidding."
That's fuck shit, man. I didn't get it. I never got asked out. Well, no, that is not true. I got asked out once in high school, but I was like, It's like, no way.
I think that happened like a few times to me.
Got pranked by people saying, let's go out. And you're like, okay, psych. Aw. You fell for it again. You're like, damn it, I fell for it again. You go home, write in your diary, dear diary. Well, it happened to me again. A man asked me out, and I said yes, and then he laughed at me and spat in my face as he walked away.
It's funny, though, because there are like a few people from high school that were just like so horrible, or like that I was like so in love with, and they like always rejected me. But then I grew up and they were like, I've been in love with you forever, or like online trying to buy my shit, like literally like either one of those things. And it's just like so funny to me.
Yeah.
And then there's those guys that I fucking dodged. I dodged like crazy. And I just thought I was so shallow, even though I was so ugly.
Oh, I'm shallow as fuck too, so don't.
And like there was like so many, well, not so many, but there were a few kids who like did like me and like, oh my God, I love you. Even like 5 years ago, oh, I still love you. I still love you. But they grew up to be lookers. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, I think that's also the appeal of like high school reunions, is to see all the people that, you know, were kind of always ugly and awkward, and now they're hot.
And then there's always those kids who like have kids, and I'm like, but who you fucking? Like,
Who you fucking? You're ugly as shit.
That's fucked up to say.
And then the hot cheerleader's all fat because she crotched out 4 kids.
Not the ones at my fucking school. They're still hot as shit with the cutest little babies. I'm like, go fuck yourself. This isn't how it's supposed to be.
I don't know if I'm going to go to my 20-year high school reunion. Maybe I'll go and I'll prank everybody. Be like, joke's on y'all motherfuckers. I put poison in the beer.
That would be hilarious. We should prank our reunions.
Well, isn't your 10-year reunion this year or is it next year?
1 year.
Next year?
1 year? I'm not saying when.
Oh, 1 year. All right, whatevs. Well, how are we supposed to plan on pranking our high school reunions? We know mine's next year. How are we supposed to prank yours? What the fuck? I'm going to come up with the ultimate prank to prank at Creep Queen's fucking high school reunion, and I can't. I got to know a time frame.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
We'll work it out.
It's an off-air
We got
thing.
this.
Off air.
We got this.
Ew, Creep's picking her nose.
Oh my god. It was dry, and then a fucking piece of paper came out of it.
That's not paper, that's dry skin.
No, it's paper because I was just peeling this.
Oh, you're snorting the fucking Starbucks sticker.
And then, like, my nose was dry, and I was like, oh, fuck. And then paper flew out of it. And that was
it's not really a prank, but every time my wife will itch her nose, I always go, ew, you're picking your nose. She's like, I'm not picking it. It itches.
She gets mad.
And she could just be, like, rubbing it like this, you know what I mean? And I'll be like, you're picking your nose.
Oh, God, that's funny as shit.
She's real good at pranking me. Not necessarily pranking me, but making me, like, embarrassed in public. She does that shit so good to where it's like, I'm embarrassed for her that she's doing it because she's trying to embarrass me and it's working. But she has no shame. It's like when we were at T-Mobile store paying our bill and she was all like, oh, this phone's fleek. Oh, look at this case. This case is fleek. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. She got me good. Her fucking fleek.
I've had the weirdest shit happening tonight since we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah? Well,
sorry.
We have 8 minutes left here on Demon Seed Radio Networks. Forgot to mention that at the top. Sorry, fellas. I'll try to be better next time.
Quit doing that. It makes me anxious.
Oh. Sorry. Sorry. Well.
Now we sit in awkward silence.
No, there's no awkward silence. I was trying to find something on my soundboard just to break that awkward silence, but here I am not knowing where everything is at.
Okay, so let me tell you a funny story about my new place.
Funny story.
I'm going to make it, it's a really long story, and I'm going to make it kind of short. Try.
6 minutes.
And if you don't think it's funny, I'll put a pie in my face later.
Poontang pie, hopefully.
So I've been looking into security systems for my new place, and it's something I just want to do. So
smart.
I called ADT because that's a well-known, reputable company, right?
Right. They got a name.
Okay, so I call ADT and I tell her, hey, I'm just looking for a quote. And she's like, okay, cool. So she gives me a quote, and I'm like, that's not bad. Thank you. It was around what I wanted to pay. I just wasn't ready to pay the security deposit yet. Like, I just wasn't, I'm not there yet. Like, I still have a bunch of shit to do.
Right.
And it was only $100. It wasn't bad. And like $27 a month, whatever. So she's like, okay, how do you want to pay? And I was like, I'm not paying you today. Like, I was just calling for a quote. And she was like, okay, but like you can pay though. And I was like, okay, but I'm not going to pay. And I never stay on the phone like this, but it was like so interesting how this happened. So she was like, hang on, let me get you my supervisor for a better deal. And I was like, okay, cool. Maybe he'll waive the $100 fee. Then I'll do it. So he gets on the phone and he's like, I'll give you a $100 Visa gift card. So it'll be like you didn't pay the money. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I still just, it's not good enough. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm not doing it.
Right.
And he's like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, I live on the 3rd floor. And I'm not really worried about somebody scaling my building. And he was like, he said, oh, but did you hear what happened in France? And I said, no. He said there was a kid dangling from a 3-story building.
Oh, I heard about this.
Almost dropped to his death. And a man dressed like Spider-Man climbed the building and saved the child. And I was like, that's cool, but I'm not really worried about Spider-Man. So, like, I'm good. Like,
Right.
I'm still not worried about Spider-Man breaking into my house, so we're good. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay. Then this guy, like, harassed me for my card. He was like, I was like, okay, if you're setting me up to pay, I'm not paying today. And he was like, why not? And I was like, I don't have my debit card. Well, where is it? It's in my car. Oh, well, just go outside to your car and get it.
What a pushy motherfucker.
No. I said, no, I'm not doing that. Why not? Because I'm in the middle of packing. Well, you can just walk outside your car and get your debit card. And I was like, actually, I don't even have my car right here. And he was like, well, what do you have? And I said, a U-Haul. I left my car at the U-Haul place. And I just have the U-Haul here because I'm moving stuff. And he was like, oh, okay, so just drive to the U-Haul place. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not driving my U-Haul back to get my debit card to pay you for something. Like, I'm not doing that right now. And he was like, okay, so you mean to tell me that your car is somewhere else and you're driving the U-Haul without your debit card and license? And I said, yep. And he was like, oh, well, that's illegal. And I was like, yeah, but whatever. Like, I'm here now. Like, what am I supposed to do?
What a dick.
What the fuck? And he was like, oh, well, clearly I'm wasting your time. Goodbye. And I've had somebody from ADT call me twice a day since then.
Man, that's fucked up.
So I'm never getting service from ADT. Fuck that. But, like, how are you going to try to convince me that Spider-Man's going to break into my fucking place? And then how are you going to fucking harass me about anything?
Well, maybe he thought that you were with child and he didn't want your kid to fall off the balcony.
Like, fuck off.
So maybe that...
Like, what the fuck? Oh, well, you should be worried about your balcony because of Spider-Man, so...
I seen that video. That man wasn't dressed like Spider-Man. They just called him...
He wasn't?
No, they just called him Spider-Man because he climbed it.
Oh, he said he was dressed like Spider-Man, and then the French whatever gave him like permanent citizenship.
Well, why? Spider-Man's like a hero. You wouldn't have to worry about Spider-Man anyway.
That's another thing that I'm saying. Like,
he's a fucking Avenger.
Good. If Spider-Man is anywhere near me, I'm good.
Yeah, he's an Avenger. He's a good guy. Now, if if Venom or fucking Rhino were hanging around, then maybe you might have to worry about that. But no.
Like, what the fuck? I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, am I sleeping? Like, oh god,
what a weird tale. Huh? I hate pushy fucking salespeople like that. If you're in sales and you're really pushy like that, you're a piece of crap because that's a shitty thing.
And now it's the supervisor. Like, fuck off.
I have a message for the supervisor. And that message is Volume 30, our Dirty 30's, has come to a close. I don't know what else to say. We're very 80s with our theming. Creep just flashed me.
He's lying.
No, I'm not lying.
Okay, he's lying.
She's licking her nipples now.
Ew! Stop! Oh my god! Hate you!
Now she's drinking her Starbucks drink and filleting the straw like a penis. This is very inappropriate.
Oh god.
It's disgusting. How dare you? Now she's sucking the ink pen like it's a big fucking dick.
Oh my god, he's a liar.
No, I'm not. Go to our website, doublepodcast.com. You know all the shit, folks. Why even fucking repeat it at this point? Well, I mean, if you're on Demon Seed Radio Networks, you can't see all of our cool plugs, so I guess follow me on Twitter at Mr. Chris Steele. That's MrKrisSteel. Go to Double P Podcast on Patreon and fucking all sorts of fun things.
And follow me on Twitter at CreepXQueen.
CreepXQueen. You can go to creepqueen.com where you can buy smut customs. I heard Creep really likes doing panty stuffing videos, so if that's your thing, well, she's a professional.
Yep.
I've heard.
Yep.
She makes all sorts of cool videos.
Yep.
So
Chris looks like a thug.
I do. Got my sweet hat on and a red shirt. Throwing up bloods like it ain't shit.
Oh my god. Dead. Fucking dead.
I figured if I...
Oh, fuck.
What?
I'm out of toilet paper. I gotta go.
Oh, she's gotta go. Folks, and I gotta go too. Thanks for listening, and here's Bethany with some information.
Hello, I am your announcer, Bethany. Please remember to rate and review 5 stars on iTunes. Rating and reviewing helps out the show. Thanks for listening to the Double Penetration Podcast with your hosts, Creep and Steel.
I'm like, yo, kick some ass and then sit on my face.